I don't think we want to do this.
Alright, I'll start then. And welcome to another GamingStooges talk. This time is actually going to be a video review for drumroll, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2.
Ooh. Ooh. Yes. Ooh. Okay, I'm done.
Alright, so Sonic 4 Episode 2 was released in May 2012, and it came out on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and other things that nobody cares about.
All the things.
Not all of them.
So, as I'm stuffing my face with corn dog,
Stop that, son.
Sonic 4 Episode 2 is the continuation of Sonic 4 Episode 1, and this time you get Tails in this game, and a new gameplay mechanic based around using Tails and Sonic together to do stuff in order to traverse the level. If you're on, if you use Tails, you can have them both roll into the ball and basically do a super spin dash.
The 69 position.
So, how should we begin talking about this wonderful game, I guess?
You want to define it as wonderful and glorious.
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so it's... Alright, so the game is obviously wonderful and glorious. Alright, that's our review. See you guys next time.
That is our review. No, but...
There's not much else to say after that. I mean, we'll feed you guys lies and slander as much as we feel like.
Anyway. So, the game
You done typing?
I'm going into the depth, leave me alone.
Okay.
So, I don't know what to say about this game, honestly. It's mostly the same as Sonic 4 Episode 1, except with the new additions of Tails and Metal Sonic, who's the antagonist of the game.
I guess we can do this.
It was supposed to be, like, you know how in Sonic 4 Episode 1, there was, like, a really bad physics engine?
You know in Sonic 4 Episode 2, how there's...
supposed to be fixed.
how it's the same physics engine?
Yeah.
Okay.
They never fixed it.
We'll fix it in the third one. Don't worry, guys.
If there's even a third episode.
It's doubtful.
So the game starts in Sylvania Castle, which is a little bit different than other Sonic games, which you normally start.
Mandatory water level.
We start off in a water level.
And don't think that's the end of water.
Oh.
Because you got water levels for half the game.
Pretty much.
So it's Sonic 3 now.
Yeah. They decided, hey, we might not do a third episode, so we're just going to make this the...
All the water we were saving for episode 3, that's going to episode 2.
Yep.
Let's just dump all the water into episode 2. Do it!
You want to know a funny thing about that? The fact that Sonic 3 is like nothing except for Marble Garden Zone that has nothing but water. And then in Sonic and Knuckles, I don't think there's hardly any zones that have water.
No, there really isn't. Not in Sonic and Knuckles. Anyway, Sylvania Castle, because it's where the game starts off, it introduces you to a lot of the mechanics of the game, and the first couple of acts are pretty much a forced tutorial.
You mean those signs that never go away, even if you're at like the final level?
Even if you played through Sylvania Castle dozens of times, they will still have those signs there as if to say, hey, this might be your first time doing this. make sure you press this button to do this thing.
Oh, okay, thanks. I wasn't sure about the last 1,000 times I did that because I kept dying after I did this action, but thanks. Thanks, game.
Maybe Sega thinks that new players are stupid?
And then, but anyway, stuff that usually is done, like stuff that's usually shown is mostly your basic moves which you should know how to do if you played any Sonic game before. That's 2D. And then
How I spin dash.
Yeah, how I spin dash.
How I homing attack.
No, but then it shows you the thing that actually makes some sense that it should be teaching you, which is the key mechanic. Because
How
other
I
than
team
Sonic,
mechanic.
other than Sonic Advance 3, there's never really been a game where you can use both of your characters to do something together. But when it comes to Sonic, but in this game you can do a
How I
super spin
summon
dash,
things.
which is your Super 69 attack that you were talking about.
Super 69, rolling around at the speed of fucking...
And then if you do it, if you do it while you're in the air, you actually get
Flying around at the
Yeah.
speed of moving.
I
Oh
want
wait,
to-
I can't hold you. You hate too many chili dogs, Sonic. I'm a fucking
Yeah.
pussy.
Tails kind of sinks like a rock after you shoot up a little bit.
You're like 1, 2, and that's it. I'm done. Okay.
That's because I noticed in Sonic 4 Episode 2, Tails is more, his flight is more based on how many times you press the button as opposed to how long he can actually hang on to you.
it's more like in the Super Smash Brothers games, how characters like Kirby, Jigglypuff, and Meta Knight, they all can fly, but they're not actually flying. It's just they have like 5 jumps. And
Yeah, essentially, Tails is, whenever Tails goes higher, it's essentially him using a jump.
But yeah. So
The only good thing I actually like about that, as opposed to older Sonic games, is that you can do it on command instead of having a second person do it for you.
yeah, I liked it. At the same time, I thought it was kind of overplayed. Like a lot of levels, especially the first level where you have to learn how to use the key mechanics in Sylvania Castle, and then later levels pretty much rely on you to use Sonic and Tails' team moves to
Yeah.
go through almost the entire level. But instead of getting ahead of myself, after Sylvania Castle, you have a basic boss fight, which is made unbelievably easy by using Tails' ability to fly. Because after you use Tails' ability to fly, you can jump out of his grip and then just hit the boss, and then keep doing that until you die.
You can, like, actually what you can do is you just run Tails right into it.
That too.
Oh yeah.
I
Just-
prefer
yeah,
to do it the way that I do it, which is
That's how I normally do it, but you can do it that way too.
Actually, if we're following the logic from Sonic Advance 3, which is actually how I killed the final boss in Sonic Advance 3, you could just fly Tails' tails into his face and hurt him that way.
Yeah, it's pretty much like because Tails himself has a hitbox.
Yeah, isn't that actually how you fight the Marble Garden Zone boss as Tails alone?
Yeah.
But so you have that stage, and then you have White Park.
Why not Black Park?
I, why not
Black Snow?
Why not Zoidberg?
Why not
Wait, Black
Zoidberg?
Snow-
Come on, guys. What
Black Snow seems kind of evil for some reason.
what is this park racist? Like, did Eggman literally like tell Metal Sonic, "Hey, you're going to be in charge of this carnival park with like killer bears and a lot of snow and avalanches. Call it White Park. Make sure no black people get inside."
But White Park, honestly, I hated White Park, mostly because I felt it had one of the cheapest level designs in the entire game, which after Sylvania Castle is pretty much just all cheap level design. But
Wait, what was cheap about it?
Mandatory water section.
the mandatory
Oh,
water
you
section,
mean
which,
the thing that you get trapped and you can't
yeah,
get out?
the part where if you don't do it perfectly, so that way you pass through the seals, so they don't freeze. What it is there's an enemy in White Park. It's a steel enemy, and
It's a
And-
walrus, and he just
Yeah.
like he like blows ice, and then he's like frozen there, and then it's
Yeah,
like
he blows ice and then he freezes
Can't
himself there
get
with a collar.
around you. My
Well,
God, there's 2 of you. You made it in pod. There's more of you. How
Yeah.
many? Oh, there's 8. Oh, oh.
16.
It's
But yeah.
still going.
But it's not so much as the seals do that. It's the fact that there's one segment in one of the levels, which was it Act 2 or Act 3?
Is it the actual carnival part, or is it like the?
It's the underwater
snowy
section.
outskirts.
Oh, it's the underwater section.
Yeah, it's the underwater section. There's a part in the underwater section where if the seals freeze the section that they aren't in, it will freeze the water perfectly, so it will block.
It's the section I was talking about. Like, there's
And,
2,
yeah.
and then there's 2 more, and then there's 2 more.
Yeah.
There's like 2 more.
It's
and you can't
ridiculous
get past
because it's not even the fact that they do that. It's the fact that you die purely because you have to wait on the clock to kill you. Like, you have to wait on him to drown. And I was like, really, game? That's how you're going to kill me? I thought it was a really cheap way to...
You just butt rush. You're just like, nope, fuck this. Go submarine tails. Butt rush through all the walruses.
Well, yeah, when you're underwater, Tails has infinite swim ability.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
drowning, but
It was Act 3, the level where it's called Labyrinth at Absolute Zero.
yeah, that's water bullshit.
I did like the level, though, when you actually are on the roller coasters and stuff. Like, I thought that was a decent level. But I didn't like the snowy outskirts level because they just didn't really have a good design to them. Like, it's almost like they took everything you hated about snow levels, like Twinkle Snow from Sonic Advance 3 or Ice Cap from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and then they were just like, throw all of that together. Just do that.
And mix it with Labyrinth Zone.
Yeah. In the last level. Let's mix that with Labyrinth Zone, too. Because we know how much our fans love Labyrinth Zone.
You know what would have made it better?
What?
If they based it off of Robotnik Winter.
Oh, God.
If it was based off Robotnik Winter from Triple Trouble, that might have been a little bit better.
Well, actually, both of them have snowboarding sections.
That is true. But anyway, the boss of that level was actually...
Yay! That's what it is.
And, yeah. Metal Sonic starts off like wicked easy, but then after that he just gets the most bullshit attack patterns which will pretty much instantly kill you.
Hi there. There's no ground. And we're off screen already. Okay, you're dead. Bye.
Yeah. Which is what I didn't like about White Park. Is overall, including the boss, it had some of the cheapest kill tactics I had ever seen in Sonic.
Oh, and there's the ground again. Bye. If you can somehow get past that.
Yeah. Like, the game expects you to succeed when you obviously will.
It's like, what the fuck is this shit?
But after that, we have Oil Desert, which, honestly, probably... Alright. While overall Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 is it has, like, levels that obviously pull from other levels, just like Sonic 4 Episode 1 did. I did kind of like Oil Desert and how it was based off Oil Ocean, but not the entire zone. Like, a couple of the levels stood out. It's pretty fun.
Slowest boss ever.
Yeah, really.
I know. I can't remember which stage it was, but there was a segment where you literally have to use the flying mechanic, and there's wind pushing you at the same time, if I'm correct.
I believe, because I just played through all of it, believe that's Act 3.
Yeah, and you have to fly. You have to constantly fly through segments of bottomless pits.
Yeah, that's Act 3.
And then to make it even worse, those bottomless pits, the entire segment where you're flying through is also included. I can't remember what it was, but like there were these like hazards that you had to avoid while flying too. Like,
wasn't it the fire? I was gonna say the fire, but no, That's Sky Fortress.
No, that's Sky.
That's Sky Fortress. Oh, there was the dung beetles that would throw like bombs at you. I think that's
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
But you go through segments at a time where it was just flying through these bottomless chasms and trying to avoid the enemies and hazards in the way.
I honestly think the worst part of, I think it was Act 2, where the mandatory, if you don't speed run this, you're going to die, where the sand is rising.
Yeah.
That's Act 2.
Oh, you mean where it smashes you into the crates above you?
Yes. And the problem is like, a lot of times, you have to wait for that.
You basically have to,
it's-
it's like the game has to signal everything for you, and you have to follow on with what the game wants you to do.
And then when you do, you end up dying anyway. 'cause
and
you
then
don't
if
have
you,
time
and then if
that-
you do it, you have to do it perfect, because if you don't, the game is going to kill you anyway.
you don't have enough time. Like, there's like one section where you have like a bunch of barriers and you can't reach them unless you start flying. So mandatory flying, you have to fly up there, and then like if you don't fly up there and you just kind of just jump up there, you don't have enough time to get to the other side where the spring is, so you die. Regardless if you use the Super 69 move or not.
And then we had, for that one, we also had a boss fight that was, like you said, longest boss ever.
Honestly, but he's not terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I think I saved those bosses for all the other ones. Minus the first one. The first one's just this easy. The first one looks cool. I honestly say that the first boss looks cool. And this one does too. It also, it's the Egg Robo type boss.
I like
Well,
the fact that, in contrast to other egg robot bosses that you have fought in over the years, which were always these shiny new inventions, like Oil Desert Zone basically took like all
he's
this.
a piece of shit.
Yeah, he takes all these scrap materials and he's a golem, a titan made out of these scrap materials.
And he thinks that will actually work as opposed to like the shiny stuff.
He takes forever to beat though.
That's because you have to either you have to wait for him to open the cockpit, which takes
Forever.
20 seconds for each one, and you have to do that like 8 times. While at the same time, you've got platforms dropping down, which want to smash you. And then when you get far enough, some of the platforms like to open spikes, or they explode. Take your pick.
Yeah. And you have to make sure that you land on one of the platforms that will hopefully give you enough leverage and height to jump into the cockpit when it does show up.
Or, use mandatory flying.
Yeah.
And make sure you're
Wait,
dodging shit.
I forget, is there ever a time the block will disappear and it will become a bottomless pit?
Oh, yes. If you don't hit the cockpit, he will take one of his arms and smash through all of it. And so if you've risen up to where it's not ground level anymore, because, it's always climbing, that creates a bottomless pit. And if you fall down that, you die.
Because apparently whatever scrolls upwards, that ground is no longer existing.
Yes.
It is a crazy boss.
We're taking Jungle Zone, mechanics out of this.
So, anyway, after that you come to Sky Fortress.
Oh, God.
Oh, my
Make
God.
it stop.
Alright, Sky Fortress
Mandatory flying in the airplane this time.
is like...
Actually,
It's like a combination of Sky Chase and
Wing Fortress?
Wing Fortress, which is why it's called Sky Fortress. It's literally...
Oh, I see what you did there.
I see what you did there, Sega.
So we take this, and we mash it together, and we produce shit.
The first level is literally flying all the way to the Sky Fortress.
Oh, and have fun playing that. Have fun playing that co-op online.
But yeah, you have to... Tails will fly the ship. Well, not the ship, the tornado. And Sonic has to do what he does and Sonic 2.
He has to, walk on top of the ship because that's smart.
But the problem is, unlike Sonic 2, where the momentum and the physics system was pretty much pitch perfect, so it didn't feel like a hindrance at all to be on the plane. Like, it worked out really nicely. In this game, because of the not-so-great physics engine, the not-so-great momentum system that Sonic has, it makes that sky level where you're flying up to the fortress that much worse. Like,
I think it's worse when you try to homing attack and he misses the target. No,
that too.
Like, there's a section without Tails. Like, there's a section where Tails can't catch you, and you have to, there's the turtle enemies, you have to homing attack, and he's just like, what? And he, totally misses, and it's like...
And
you're talking about the part where it's, actual blocks that you can walk on.
Well, what it is Tails can't come and rescue you. Then there's a bunch of those turtle enemies, the ones that are floating on the turtles.
Yeah, the turtles on the turtles.
Yeah.
There's not that much difference.
You're supposed to homing attack those guys, but sometimes they'll just go, what? And then, fall.
Yeah, I think what happens...
You're supposed to homing attack them, and I think you use the turtle themselves as a platform, right?
Well, obviously, yeah, but the thing is the game, because it's scrolling at the same time, because this is a scrolling level, remind you. This is just Act 1, by the way. The scrolling kind of fucks up with Sonic's ability to aim properly when he's doing his homing attack. And so when he tries to homing attack, rather than land on the platform like he's supposed to, if he doesn't, sometimes he just air dashes instead of doing an actual homing attack. And then even when he does do a homing attack, sometimes he'll fly through past the enemy, and rather than land, he'll fly through the enemy and then just to drop through a bottomless pit that obviously you should have been able to save yourself from. It's because it's a scrolling level and it fucks with Sonic's ability to homing attack. It does it in different ways too. Like Landon said, sometimes it doesn't even homing attack. Like he'll just air dash because he doesn't think that there's an enemy on the screen. It's all because of the scrolling. And yeah, it's like I said, it's a shame because the Sonic 2 version of the level is fine, but the Sonic 4 version, it reads everything really poorly. And
what I do like about that zone, though, is when you get to Act 2, the actual music and stuff.
When you get to Act 2...
Act 2 is alright. Act 2, I can live through Act 2, and I'm okay
Act
with
2 is decent because it's kind of like... I can't really say it's like Wing Fortress because it's totally designed differently. It's got a similar style, but it's designed totally differently. But it's a lot more tolerable because, first off, you are on the fortress itself, and there's no extremely cheap gimmicks except for a couple mandatory flying sections when you're using Tails and Sonic. But
there's also that weird gimmick where you gotta run on the side of the wall.
Yeah, but other than that, it's not too bad. Like, Act 2 is decent.
Act 3 is I heard you like precision platforming with Tails.
I hated Act 3.
I heard you like fire.
The thing that I hated about Act 3 is how it switches in between parts where you're Sonic just alone, and then parts where you're on the tornado. And when you get to the part when you're on the tornado, you have to dodge some of the most bullshit of attacks that I've ever seen in a game where your momentum is piss poor if you're not already moving. And because you're on the tornado, obviously you can't build up proper momentum. So the game's basically fucking you over.
Oh, you're talking about that boss fight.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, the boss fight. Act 3 is bad too.
Act 3 is just like Act 2, except hell.
Yeah.
With the whole...
It's everywhere.
It does it even worse. But then you get to the boss, the
boss fight's terrible.
It's not even like... it doesn't even feel like a real boss.
No, that's because you're just like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah. But
you'll get to the point where like I had this trouble today. Like he'll go up above, and like if a laser hits you because you can't like get past the laser, oh, you totally miss him, and there you go ahead, but you get a harder set of lasers this time. GG. And then eventually, after you somehow miraculously hit him, I think it's about 3 times, he flies underneath, so you can't hit him, but you still have to dodge his lasers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you'll get stuck at the very edge of the screen, and you like can't go past the lasers, but at the same time you're gonna get hit by the next time the lasers go off.
You know what I hated though, especially with that level though, is just like in the first level where you were on the plane, the fact that it auto scrolls and it doesn't speed up at all. Like it's the same slow scrolling. And it basically sets the game up to be able to do whatever it wants to you, and you're just going to sit there with your ass wide open like, take me. That's pretty much what the level, what the game does.
Especially when you get to the missile part.
Oh my god, don't even
Where they start like pushing you.
Yeah, it's just like missile, missile, missile.
All of the missiles that shoot out. Like, it's not that they're hard to dodge, but it's that there's so many of them, and like I said before, your momentum's so bad on that plane that if you are not already where you need to be in order to dodge the stream of missiles, you will get hit.
You get pushed, and you'll die.
Yeah, and you'll just die after that, because the game...
Yeah, I think that's an insta-kill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because they push you, because it acts like one of those walls. Like
it's like a
crush.
It's like a crush.
It's a crush death. That's what it is.
Yeah. Even though the missile itself does no damage to you.
No, you can touch the missile all you want, but it's a wall. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's Sky Fortress. So, Death Egg Mark II.
And then we go to Mine Fuck Zone.
I'm sure you had fun with this one, Justin.
It's like, oh yeah, hey, you know how Death Egg Zone like flipped you upside down, did all that goofy stuff? Why don't we do that up to 11 and have it just locked on to Sonic?
Nah, fuck 11. Let's go up to 15. Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's like, it's not like Sonic and Knuckles where like Sonic could be at the top of the screen, but you're still like upside down or something like that. Sonic's literally in the middle of the screen while gravity is fluctuating.
It just turns and 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 turns.
And the funny thing is they expect you to like platform and use tails like effectively while you're not even sure which way is up.
Yeah, because like I know there's one point where you jump up with tails and the screen will turn upside down.
Yeah, and then you're like, wait, where am I going now?
Yeah, it's like, what?
Yeah. And unlike Sonic 4 Episode 1, where the last zone is just one stage, this final zone is two.
That's 2. You get fun. You get a lot of fun. You get effectively 3 boss fights. The first one is it's reminiscent of the Racist Park boss with Metal Sonic, because it's Metal Sonic and he does his bullshit, but this time Eggman's there to like kind of be a meat shield and block all of your attacks.
Oh yeah, that one.
After that, then it's still in Act 1. You get down after turn and turn and turn and turn and turn and turn and platform and turn and turn and turn. You get down to a race, which is pathetically easy with Metal Sonic. You just get to the end and he hits a wall and he gets electrified, and that's the end of him.
Again.
Just like in Stardust Speedway.
And then...
They even play Stardust Speedway.
Yeah. And then the most obnoxious Egg Robo ever.
Wait, what do you mean I didn't play Stardust Speedway?
Have a heart, Eggman.
Have a heart. An egg heart.
Oh wait, no. I take that back. We don't want that egg heart.
God.
Yeah. Don't you remember Sonic Colors, the Game Land levels? The little hearts in that game? Yeah. Grab that, and then friggin' sometimes you have like this Eggman just come out of nowhere, a giant Eggman head, and he's like got all these hearts popping up, and he's trying to kill you with love.
You wish it was like that. You wish.
No,
I
it's
wish.
just swirly, heart of death and pitfalls.
Yeah, well, So what it is, what Eggheart is Eggman is in like a heart, literally. It's a heart, and he's in the center of these 3 rotating rings, which going around the heart, which serve as Sonic and Tails' platforms. So you jump from one ring to the next to get to the heart, and you hit Eggman. Okay, that's cool. And then the next phase, he starts electrifying platforms. Okay, it's still easy. Then the third one, he ramps that shit up to 11. Okay, and the entire time you can just use Tails' hitbox while flying to your advantage, as long as you don't get hit in the process and lose all your rings, and then you have 0 trying to platform back up. Okay, so then after I think it's then hit 5 comes around. Once you hit him,
starts dropping.
yeah, he drops some of the platforms. Like there's the entirety of the green or red or one of them, besides two of the blocks. I think that's actually hit number 4.
Yeah.
Entirely electrified, and they're rotating, and you're gonna get hit and get electrified. Yay! That always happens. Always happens.
Yeah, and the best part is when you get electrified, and then you so happen to fall down a level and end up falling through one of the platforms that have already fallen.
Yeah. And then eventually, I think it's hit 7. After hit 7, actually no, it's after hit 6. What it is he forms a shield around him, so you have to hit him twice. And the entire time, while he's doing both, hit 7 and 8, it's the same thing, except 8 just turns that shit from 11 to 30. What it is what he does is you have to hit him once, and while he is, while you're trying to hit him once, he is forming a black hole, sucking everything in.
Yeah.
And if you don't hit him 2 times, once to break his shield and once to actually damage him, he will pick Sonic and Tails up, flip them around, and then smash them down to the very bottom ring, and you lose all your rings. And so you have to, go back up there, and hopefully you have some rings around him still, and if not, well, you're just fucked.
It's like
you're just fucked.
If I remember correctly, if you fight him as Super Sonic, he actually takes a little bit less hits.
Well, that's because it's Super Sonic. Yeah.
Yeah. Because what was it? Episode 1 is the only one that you couldn't do it with Super Sonic.
Yeah. But the real problem with this is the timing, because you don't want to take damage from the electric platforms that are blocking your path, and good luck. And it's mandatory to break his shield with the 69 move.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
You have to do that. You have to use the 69 move, otherwise you're just not doing anything to the shield. You're just tapping it.
I think at some point he positioned himself on the ring of platforms where you can actually hit him with that.
Eventually, and that's usually half a second before he will suck you in and throw you. That's usually the timing.
And the fun part is that it doesn't even do damage; it just knocks out the shield.
No, and that's why you have to do 2 hits.
Yeah.
And that's why the final boss.
So, in other words, he actually takes more hits than he actually should at that point.
Yes, it takes 2. So effectively, it takes 10 hits to kill him.
Yeah.
Because of the shits. Yay! But that's it for that game. I mean, after that, Sonic and Tails find pods to escape.
You want to know the kicker to that? The ending does not really change at all, even if you do get the Chaos Emeralds.
No, if you don't, they just go collect all the Chaos Emeralds. I'm like...
Yeah, just like any other Sonic game. But if you do, it just doesn't give you that.
I'm not bothering with getting the last one, because the last one's bullshit.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Special stages.
Special states. It's always special states 7.
Special stages, all of them. Okay, so but what they did for this game is, of course, they based it off Sonic 2, Sonic, Heroes, Sonic.
Anything that's not Sonic 3.
Well, no, or Sonic 1.
It's your Sonic Rush. It's
Sonic
your typical
Rush,
type.
Sonic Generations 3DS.
Pretty much the half.
Sonic Colors 3DS, in a sense. Although Sonic Colors 3DS, you have to collect orbs and not rings. But anyway.
Yeah, well, it's that, when you got Tails and he's an asshole.
But it's turned up to 11.
It's basically, the first one's like, all right, this is cool, yeah. And it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing as Sonic 2, with Tails still being an asshole. And then
unfortunately, unlike Sonic 2, where you could do Tails alone or Sonic alone, so that way there you could avoid having the dreaded.
He actually doesn't lose rings, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose
Yeah.
rings. Yeah. So you want to pump as many rings into Tails. But good luck with that.
Yeah. Since he always tries to fall behind you.
But it's not even that he's behind you. He's behind you to the right a little bit. He
literally lags like a second behind you too, just like in
If you position him right, though, he can grab a whole lot of rings.
Yeah, that is true. Since he is, unlike Sonic 2, he's not directly behind you. He's a little bit to the right of you, so you can move Sonic over ever so slightly, and he'll be in the row. But then it's the ones where it's like you have to jump off the platform. You have to jump off the half pipe to get some.
Yeah, it's not so much as the mechanics of the characters themselves in the levels. It's what they decide to put in these special stages.
Everything.
Pretty much everything.
Especially the last one. It's like, I heard you it's like they have those rings that you get one, and then if you get all of them, you get the bonus rings, right? And
you collect them all.
You need to get those
in a certain amount of time, and that one's the shortest time.
Yeah. Now, not going to lie, I haven't even gotten the last one, and
I haven't gotten the last one either, and I've tried.
I've either got 4 or 5 emeralds right now. Maybe 3. I have no less than 3. But
I have 6.
It's already for me. It's already getting to the point where it's like 4th or 5th special stage, and there's already things in there that if you don't move to a specific spot on the half pipe, so you can trigger something that will get you saved, you will lose a lot of rings. Or you just won't get rings, so that you can actually complete that second of the special stage. But fuck.
I actually had to force myself to get that last Chaos Emerald because it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Now, would you say it's worse than Sonic Rush's last special stage, which was murderous, just to say?
Well, for me, I still think Rush's is more bullshit.
Oh, Rush's is... I don't even know how I managed to do Sonic Rush's last special stage.
I haven't gotten that one either, so they're both...
Really pinpoint precision timing.
Dude. I think the problem was the last time I tried that, I didn't actually have a stylus, so I was just like, finger mode, go!
Yeah, the thing with Rush is that you have to be like, over to the left, no, over to the right. And then it's like, there's this one where it's like, oh, you see these rings in the left? Well, they start trailing over in the middle of the bombs, too, so you need to head over to the right, too.
Finger mode!
And the thing is, you need, every last ring, because if you fuck up, you're not going to get it.
You know what pissed me off about the special stages in Sonic 4 Episode 2? Is that if you want, you can speed up the movement.
Yeah, you can run faster.
Boost mode!
But the thing is, as fun as that sounds, because, I mean, it's a Sonic game, you want to go as fast as you fucking can, right? Well, yeah. Special stage is like, ha, you are a dumbass.
Well, the thing is that for some of the bonus rings to get, especially in Special Stage 7, you actually kind of do have to boost.
You need to boost.
But you have to boost correctly.
And the thing is, while you're boosting, there's these fucking green things that are like, oh, hi there. I heard you didn't like getting all the chaos.
Oh, hi there.
I heard you like getting electrocuted, so we're going to do that to you.
I heard you like butt rape. Go ahead. Call
Bend o-
Sega.
bend
They
over.
won't unrape you.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
If anything, it seems like the Dimps games are the ones that show all their hatred towards you in the special stages.
Oh.
yeah. I mean, I have to admit, I at least liked them better than the special stages in Sonic 4 Episode 1, which were boring, because I honestly don't like the special stages in that game. Or the first Sonic game in general, actually. I don't really like the special stages there.
You know what the special stages I like the most?
What?
The ones in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 8-bit.
Oh, you mean the ones where you
Zing!
don't have...
Yeah, the ones that don't exist.
You know what they should do?
Does Game Land and Sonic Colors Wii count?
Yes.
Because I like those.
Well, what they should do is, in Sonic 4 Episode 3, all they do is, instead of the red star rings, they just put the Chaos Emeralds everywhere.
I enjoy that.
Well, that's Landon.
Or they do like the actually the ones I actually really do enjoy are yes, the Triple Trouble ones.
Oh, the Fang ones?
You know what would be
Actually-
a kind of cool idea for a special stage, though, for the next one, is if they do an episode 3, though, would be like, do something like a combination of Sonic Colors Wii, but then instead of doing specific, like, Lego-themed levels, instead
Yeah.
you can unlock a bonus state. Like, let's say you clear Act 1 with 50 rings or more, and then the special stage would be a level that is an optional level that is modeled after that zone that you go to the special stage for.
Okay.
You know what would be cool though if they did it Triple Trouble style? If what do you call it? In order to get the Chaos Emeralds, you had to do the kind of similar requirements you had to do in Triple Trouble, and you actually had to have a boss fight with Knuckles.
That'd be chill. I'd be down with that. See,
But
but
anyway,
the thing is there's also the planes ones that are actually piss poor easy. And I don't mind flying the plane in that game.
Yeah.
So I think that about covers everything when it comes to the levels. So,
Yeah.
all right, well, let's move on.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we could quickly go over, like, they did bring back the red star rings, which were in,
Yeah, colors, I mean.
yeah, colors and generations.
Well, colors first.
No, that's why I said colors and generations.
Yeah, I know.
They brought those back, so, if you're a masochist and you want to replay the game, if you didn't get them first time around.
Well, they're not as hard as fucking colors were.
No, and there's only one for each act, so it's not like...
Honestly, I had a harder time getting the red rings in Generations than I did for Colors.
This is funny because Generations...
I got 178 of them just by bullshitting, and then the last 2 were the only hard ones.
You know what? It's because some of Generations are like, what do you call it? They're hidden in places that you actually need to take alternative routes to finish the stage to get to.
Either you need to play
It was like that.
perfectly...
Yeah. It was like that in Colors, too, but in Colors, like, you had room for error. Like, honestly, there's this one. Okay, this is the one red ring I thought I would never get in Sonic Colors. It's an aquarium park. I can't remember what act it is.
Is it a hard one?
In order to do it, no. In order to get to it, you need to use a series of lasers, and the first couple of laser sets, not hard. The last one, you have to aim it pitch perfect in order to land next at that red ring. But here's the problem. 90% of the time, actually, you're not even going to get close to it. And even if you do get close to it, you're not actually going to hit it. The way that I managed to get to it, because you have to bounce off of these metal crate rows that are in there. But for me to have gotten it, what I had to do was I had to drop near the red ring, and I didn't even see the red ring. Like, it was literally too far off screen, and I blind boosted, and I grabbed it, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was the
it's Hang Glider Laser Edition.
pretty much. But, yeah. You have red rings in this game, but
They're fairly easy, but that's because, like I said, there's one per each.
Yeah. There's only one for each, and
They don't even unlock anything.
They don't unlock them.
They're just for a trophy.
And at the same
Slash
time,
achievement.
it's kind of easy to get to them, especially if you abuse the team mechanics. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Yes. So I guess that covers the levels now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's move on to something that we might actually not be so over, which was the graphics of the game.
Graphics.
Definitely an improvement over one.
Level design when it comes to aesthetics, not when it comes to mechanics, because we all know that. No.
Like, I noticed the ground has more of a closer to Generations kind of style of graphics.
I can't
Also,
really judge compared to Sonic 4 Episode 1, because in Sonic 4 Episode 1, I played it on the WiiWare.
So did I.
And even though I played it on PSN as well, I don't remember the graphics on the PSN version when compared to Sonic 4 Episode 2. But Sonic 4 Episode 2, I liked the detail that they used. I thought the levels were vibrant. They kind of popped with some sort of life, but at the same time, there were some parts that obviously felt like some aspect of Oil Desert just screamed Oil Ocean. Sylvania Castle in a couple of places just screamed Aquatic Ruin. White Park was just regular, generic ice level.
with some Twinkle Park thrown in.
Yeah, it was. But then there's some parts of the levels that are genuinely interesting. Like, in White Park, when you're on the roller coaster sections, like the track there, the only game in the entire series that has anything that remotely reminds me of that was Sonic Rivals. Sonic Rivals.
Really?
Yeah, Sonic Rivals has a level like that, where you are racing along an amusement park, and it's mostly roller coasters. But other than that, there's nothing really in Sonic series kind of that's like White Park in that aspect.
Yeah, it's definitely no asteroid coaster.
Oil Ocean looks kind of cool. I like how there was more emphasis on, like in Oil Ocean, while it obviously looked ruined from the oil and all that stuff, it didn't look like it was going to break itself down. Oil Desert kind of looked like what would happen to Oil Ocean after the fact. Like it was kind of like a post-apocalyptic Oil Ocean.
After somebody threw the match in.
After someone threw the match in, that's literally what it is. Sky Fortress.
Look at.
Sky Fortress is not Wing Fortress.
It's nice to look at.
There's not
Everything
much to
else.
look at.
There's not much though. I mean, it's
Oh,
mostly
there's that blue and
There's that cloud.
oh,
Hey, I remember that cloud from Sonic and Knuckles.
hey,
Honestly, the best part of Sky Fortress is honestly Act 2's music to me.
music.
We'll get to the music in a bit. But yeah, Sky Fortress, I like mostly Act 2 design-wise because, like, you had...
You mean you only like Act?
Yeah, I only like Act 2. Because it was the only one where you could actually... You weren't forced to the scrolling, so you could... And there wasn't, like...
Fall down. Right.
And there wasn't all these bottomless pits everywhere, so you could actually kind of enjoy some of the aesthetics of the zone. But other than that, the rest of it was just kind of...
Looking at Act 2 for Sky Fortress makes me wonder, like, what the fuck does the ship actually look like? Like, they show a little cutscene of the ship, and what I saw out of that cutscene looks nothing like what I'm walking on right now. Like,
Well,
where were all these turns and all this, where was this? Like, I don't remember.
They, even in the 16-bit games, didn't they fuck with flying battery a few times? Like,
Yes.
in Angel Island is technically the first time you see flying battery when it tries to bomb the hell out of you, and it's like, it has like this green appearance. But when you see it in Sonic and Knuckles, it's like brown. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
So, yeah, and then there's, Death Egg Mark II, obviously.
It's alright.
Yeah. Except for the anti-gravity.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
aesthetic
I guess-
looking. if
Yeah.
I could see it without, the camera shifting everywhere. So
You mean, if you could see it without the vomit on your screen.
just a little bit. Or just a little
I
bit.
guess that really kind of does it for graphics. So
I think
music.
I think my favorite before we end, hold on, because
Okay.
I'm just gonna complain about music. I think my favorite looking one was Oil. The Oil, what is it? Well, Oil Rush.
Oil Desert.
Oil Desert, yeah, whatever the fuck it is. That was my favorite looking one. The
Uh-huh.
rest of them were okay. I mean, White Park was cool for Act 2. That was about it. The other,
I want to say that overall, just because I like um, the visual theme of it, I think my favorite one's Sylvania Castle.
Yeah, that one's alright, I bet. I was just like, I wasn't super impressed. Like, when I got
My
when I
least favorite
got
one
to
is
Oil,
definitely.
when I got to Oil Ocean, I was like, wow, this looks cool.
It did look cool. My least favorite one aesthetically, though, is probably when everything's said and done. Honestly, I have to say White Park, since I spent a lot of my time when I wasn't on the cool roller coaster level, I was spending a lot of it in a very generic-looking ice level. And it was just like another one.
Is it because it's like, oh hey, snow. Oh look, more snow. Oh, by the way, there's snow there.
Oh, hey, water in your snow. What?
Yeah, it's like outside. Like it's kind of sad because the roller coaster themed level was probably one of my favorite aesthetic levels in the entire game. And then you have the rest of the zone, which is just like,
I thought Act 1 looked better than Act 3, mainly because Act 3 is all water, and Act 1 had some pretty cool sections where there was like, I think that little carnival like entrance or town or something with the death bear like right next to it.
You say Act 1's more aesthetically pleasing because you never want to see those walruses again.
yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
All right. So, music.
Ew.
Time.
Yeah.
Sylvania Castle's music, honestly, I'm going to just be flat out, straight up honest. I don't remember how Sylvania Castle's music goes. It was really generic and bland to me, so I just forgot what it sounded like.
I played through the entire game today, right?
Yeah.
I honestly can't, sing you a tune from that game. Any act, any zone, all the boss fight, any, intro or, the credit music, any of it, because it's all, short, repetitive, and annoying. It's like...
And the thing is none of the, unlike past Sonic games, a lot of the time the music is specifically built to kind of give that level more personality. And yeah, it's kind of cool how there was Genesis synth kind of music for the Sonic.
But it was badass.
There was Sonic 4 episode games, but unlike the Genesis games, which everything made it, for instance, Mystic Cave Zone from Sonic 2, you feel creepy cave vibe from it because of the music. Yeah. Or Metropolis Zone, you feel gimmicky workshop fortress kind of music. But in Sonic 4, everything kind of sounds the same. It's kind of unfortunate because there's a couple tunes where if they were not so blended in with the rest of the soundtrack, they might work. Yeah. And it's especially bad for Sonic 4 Episode 2 because Sonic 4 Episode 1, it had level themes just totally different from each other, so some of the music worked. But in Sonic 4 Episode 2, the music kind of just feels, everything just feels the same.
Yeah.
I really wonder why it's supposed to be Genesis synth, but not.
Yeah, at the same time, it sounds more like dogs barking at me house.
Quack.
I honestly think And I never played the PSN version, and I honestly I don't see the reason for spending another $15 just to get Metal Episode. You know, I played the WiiWare version for the first one, and I think the first one had better music, and that had lower quality of music compared to the other versions. Yeah, WiiWare had lower quality music, and like, what?
On PSN, it's basically the same tunes on Sonic.
Yeah, I know it's the same tunes.
It's just upscaled.
The memory wasn't enough for the music to sound the same.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's WiiWare, and I would have rather they just released, the second one on WiiWare as well, and I would have been perfectly fine with that.
Why is that?
The reason behind it is because they didn't want to do,
compression.
They didn't want to compress it, and because they wouldn't have been able to make it like Kjhg graphics that, and
yeah.
And I think because of Sonic 4 Episode 1, it didn't have too much to it, honestly.
No.
Sonic 4 Episode 2, even though, I'm not going to say it's a good game because of it, because it's not that crazy. But anyway.
It's not a bad game.
It's not bad.
Frustrating as hell.
Anyway, but we'll go off. We'll go and we'll do our summaries after. But the fact that the whole team mechanic probably took up a lot of data, how we have to use that, plus the special stages, plus all the levels and everything, it took more space than Sonic 4 Episode 1 did. Also, if I'm correct, I remember Sonic 4 Episode 2, you have you can unlock Metal Sonic to use in the level of Sonic 4 Episode 1, right?
That is called Metal Episode, and that's an entirely separate game.
But it's part of the...
Yeah, it's part of the game if you have both games.
Yeah. It's like, what?
It's part of the game.
But yeah. And
I mean, at the same time, they probably could have just stripped that out and then just made Sonic 4 Episode 2, downscaled it without the episode metal stuff, and they could probably release it on WiiWare for cheaper.
They could have, they could have done that, and they could have also released Metal Episode for WiiWare as well, for those who have both games, if they really wanted to, or sell it
but
for $5 or something.
Yeah, they could have done something like Sonic 4 Episode 2 on its own, 800 Wii points, 1,000 Wii points. And then
it would be 1,000 because the first one costs $15.
Yeah. So it would be 1,000 for Sonic 4 Episode 2 itself, and then Episode Metal would be 500.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been fine with that.
I would have been fine too.
And,
but
because there's unless they sell the first one for dirt cheap.
I think another reason is outside of Xenoblade Chronicles, there wasn't really anything for the Wii in 2012, really. The Wii was kind of dying down.
Literally, for the Wii, all that was released, that was, there was Fortune Street, Rhythm Heaven. It was the very beginning of the year. And I believe a Mario Party game.
Yeah.
And that was literally, January, February. After that, all that was released was Xenoblade Chronicles in April. The Last Story, and actually Pikmin 2 in North America. So,
but then again, we're also talking about a couple of games that were already released in some other way.
Out there, yeah.
Pikmin 2 obviously is, brought up from GameCube, and then you have Rhythm Heaven, which was from the DS.
And the funny thing is, North America didn't get Pikmin 2, for 4 years after the rest of the world got it. Who's saying anything? Not me. I'm not saying anything.
But anyway, I think even though the whole compression issue was a big reason why they didn't do it, I think the final nail in the coffin for the fact that Sonic 4 Episode 2 didn't make it to WiiWare was just flat out, it probably wouldn't have sold because the Wii wasn't getting much attention at that point. It's not that it wouldn't have.
Sonic.
It would have sold on WiiWare if the Wii was actually being used more, but a lot of people weren't using Wii at the time.
The problem is because We have the Wii U coming out.
Yeah, we
We're
have
not
the
going to
Wii U.
support the Wii anymore.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of funny because Nintendo really loves to, like, they keep their handhelds alive as long as possible. Whenever a new console is announced, they will literally, like, wait and just let their current console die until they can release the new console, and then it just completely takes its spot. Like, they did that with pretty much every system, except for maybe the regular Nintendo. The regular Nintendo got some attention, but anyway, that's a story for another day.
I was going to say, that's because they didn't want to make a new console.
Yeah. But Sonic 4 Episode 2, back to that, we can talk about Nintendo.
Why?
This is a review for Sonic 4 Episode 2. Anything else we want to talk about? Because we've already discussed the gameplay, the graphics, sound, and why it probably didn't get a Wii U downgrade. A Wii downgrade.
WiiWare version.
What
Got an
else?
iPod version. The fuck?
Oh yeah, back to the music. There's one song in the entire game that I thought was alright, which was Sky Fortress Zone Act 1. It's a shame because it's 1 minute of really repetitiveness, but I really liked the jingle. But other than that, I could not pick out anything from Sonic 4 Episode 2.
I think Act 2 had this funky bass line intro, and then it went off into like the normal blah, 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 blah. But like,
Sonic 4 Episode 2 puts the background in background music.
it is. Pretty much.
Anything else we want to talk about?
I don't know.
Is there really anything else to talk about, really?
Well, we can talk about the difficulty and replay value and multiplayer.
Yeah, alright, I'm going to summarize the multiplayer. You can have a friend pick up the controller and play as Tails, just like you could in that.
Co-op or online?
You can actually do it local or online. But
Ooh, Sonic games with lag is terrible.
yeah, who's going to play that online?
Me?
What the fuck?
I played it before online.
Who's going to enjoy it online?
Hey.
Oh, right.
Okay, how to be a Master Troll in Sonic 4 Episode 2. Pick Sky Fortress Act 1. Play as Tails. As Sonic jumps, don't catch him.
Yeah, that makes it even harder now that I consider that. But
Yeah, at
difficult.
least Tails caught you most of the time.
Most of the time. He didn't even catch you all the time, like he did in Sonic 2.
Sometimes, like, it's that bullshit homing attacks shit.
Yeah.
That's where he wouldn't catch you. It's like, and then you're dead.
Alright.
I think that for those who were wondering why we decided we wanted to do this, it's because the game released after we did our History of Sonic series, but even though that didn't get posted until, after the game was out. So we decided, hey, why don't we just complete that?
And we decided to do an actual video review.
Oh God,
so,
does that mean we're going to actually have to do the same for Generations?
We talked about Generations. What are you, retarded?
Maybe.
Alright.
Okay.
I think we can probably go through our overall views of the game now.
Okay.
And then,
No, me last.
alright. Justin, you
'Cause
want to
I'm
start?
masturbating.
I can start if you guys want.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go.
Alright, so Sonic 4 Episode 2, overall, it is not a bad game by any means. But it's also not amazing either. It's also not great. The team mechanics are pretty fun, but they're overused and they're used in the cheapest of ways. They're fun, but the way that they implement them kind of takes away the entertainment value from my perspective. Level design is, as adding on to that, is often very cheap and out of your favor. It's honestly probably the worst aspect of Sonic 4, in my opinion, bar none. It's not even, like, yeah, the music can be repetitive because it's supposed to be Genesis-style synth. Yeah, the graphics are good, obviously. But, yeah, the special stages are cheap. and really, really, stupid and difficult. The difficulty, obviously, but the level design is probably what kills the game for me, because it's not that it's a hard game, it's that it's a cheap game. It will try to kill you in ways that are just outright unfair, and it will try to kill you in ways that completely ignore whatever rings you have. Like, in contrast to other Sonic games where having rings is good, having rings in Sonic 4 Episode 2, the game doesn't give a shit, really. Graphics, anyway, really good. Much higher detail than Sonic 4 Episode 1. Obviously, because it is a download title and it is 2D side-scrolling, it's not going to have as much detail as something like, that's a retail game. But for a download title, it has very popping graphics, very vibrant colors. So overall, that was nice. The details actually pretty well done. And from what I remember playing of it, everything plays pretty smoothly when it comes to graphics. As far as graphics are concerned, everything's pretty smooth. Music is okay. It's not bad. Like, it's not going to hurt your ears, but at the same time, like I said before, it puts the background in background music. You're not going to tell most of the music from apart from each other.
Quack.
Boss battles, they're all right. I like the fact that they have an alternation between Metal Sonic and then Eggman style bosses, but they're a mixed bag. They switch from all right, pretty fun, to oh my god, this boss is so fucking cheap. And the bonus episode Metal, I think it was a neat addition. I mean, it definitely draws away from the anger and frustration you're going to have in the main game. Other than that, it's not going to be very replayable, especially when you're playing Sonic 4 Episode 2 itself. It's just the level design and the gameplay itself, it's lacking overall. It's not even really it's mostly game mechanics is when it boils down to. But overall, I would say it's a decent game, but I wouldn't say it's worth $15. I would say it would be really nice if they would have just, like we had talked about with the Wii, if we could have had a WiiWare version, it would have been nice to cut it in half and give us the episode medals separately if we wanted it, and just release Sonic 4 Episode 2 cheaper than Sonic 4 Episode 1 was sold for. I would have been happy with that. But it's the full package or nothing at all. I would say it's about a 6.5, maybe a 7 at best. I would say about 6.5 though. It's not bad. It's pretty fun, and the music and graphics are alright. Graphics are really nice. The gameplay, when it works, it's alright. But it switches back and forth between being cheap and being fun, and it does this worse than any Sonic game I have seen in recent years. So, yeah, I would say about 6.5 from me. Justin, you're going to be taking it away from here because Landon's going last.
Let's see. What did I think? Well, it's not the worst Sonic game I played. Definitely not the worst. I did think it was a little bit better than the first one. Only a little bit, though. The level design was a bit dickish at times. I did actually get killed by that fucking ice thing, because I apparently hit one of the bastards when I was trying to get there, and it's like, oh, guess what? You're trapped here now. And I'm like, fuck. But I think, generally, because I've been playing Sonic games a little bit longer, I'm a little bit better than, what it tends to throw at you. The graphics were pretty nice. I did enjoy the graphics. They were a lot. I actually could tell the difference between Sonic 4 Episode 1 and Episode 2, and I did actually like the change of aesthetics. Those were nice. I actually kind of like Silvaria Castle. I think it's in Act 1. I'm not sure if it's Act 1. I know it's in one of the acts where it looks like it's at night. That's a pretty... Yeah, that's a pretty good aesthetic. I Didn't like how slow Oil Ocean boss was though. That took a little bit too long for me. Like something I noticed about the bosses is that they have like a long time to build up before you can actually fight them. Uh, Solari Castle also comes to mind when they try to do that aquatic ruin gag. Uh, Sound-wise, I'm gonna be honest, music not the best I've heard. The only thing that ever comes to mind, honestly, is uh, the Twinkle Park segment in White Park. I think it's Act 2. Might be Act 2. Might be
Roller
Act...
coaster
No,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah, that's Act 2.
And Sky Fortress Act 2, because I actually like the music. And Act 3 is really just an alternative version of that song. Uh, I didn't like the overabundance of pitfalls that tend to be in some of the levels. I mean, I know now it's a little bit easier to notice them because they've got those, hey, you're going to die here if you drop here, so don't do it. But I still think there's too many pitfalls, especially in Sky Fortress. Uh,
Just to
the
cut in real
team,
quick, I have to
yeah,
admit I was playing Sonic Rush Adventure a little while ago, and it has the portable series has terrible pitfalls sometimes, but nothing compared to Sonic 4 Episode 2. Anyway,
I heard you didn't like the floor.
so
What
we got
floor?
rid of it for you.
What floor? There wasn't a floor here to begin with.
Uh,
But there was water.
oh, yeah, there's plenty of water. Uh, but let's see, what was I? I kind of lost track now.
Pitfalls.
Oh yeah, pitfalls. But yeah, I think there's too much pitfalls. There tends to be at least one pitfall somewhere in a level. Uh, and yeah, the music, like I said, there's only like two levels I actually know, and one of them is only because it's a callback to Sonic Adventure, and that's not good because while I do like my references, I don't like it if it's the only thing I can actually spot. Uh, in terms of like the actual gameplay itself, or like the teamwork, that's what I wanted to talk about. The teamwork, I think it's a little bit too forced, especially in certain segments where the only way that you can actually survive or at least even progress is through teamwork action. I think I would have liked it if the teamwork action was more of like how the older Sonic games were, where sometimes it would get you a path that you wouldn't be able to access otherwise, or something like that, like the higher path, which I think it tends to be, like it tries to be, but at the same time, sometimes I think there's just too much of it. Uh, and I didn't like how they nerfed Tails, his flying ability, where it's not how long he carries you, it's how many times you press that button. Uh, Overall, the game was better somewhat than Sonic 4 Episode 1, but not by much. I still think that they should have, like, at least changed the level design, especially fucking Act 3 of White Park. I did not enjoy that. Uh, but I'd probably give it the same score Cloud did.
All right, and if you have nothing else to say, we'll go on to Landon.
Okay, music was trash. Gameplay was pretty bad. Well, it wasn't, okay, it's trash. Team mechanic was trash.
He hates this game, by the way.
I don't hate it. It's a decent game. It's all right. Is it worth $15? I don't know.
I don't even think it was worth a PSN discount.
Do you have $15 to throw away?
If I was going to throw money away, I'd buy Foosball 2012.
Again.
Well, actually, I technically can't buy that until my one-year subscription is up, so...
That's what he's saving his money for,
Yes.
for when PSN runs out.
Yeah. After 2 years. Well, that's if I get the white PS3. Anyway. Special stages are trash.
Yeah,
What else?
I kind of agree with you on that.
What else? Metal Sonic is trash. All of his fights and appearances. Eggheart is trash.
Oh God, I hate that.
The only things I liked, it looked cool, especially in oil, ocean thing, desert,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that one was. The other ones were like, it's a blah, it's a trash. Um, um, actually, the only bosses I liked were the two Eggman bosses that aren't Eggheart. Those were the only boss fights I liked. And that even, yeah, egg robot junk pile piece of shit was
Yeah.
really slow and clunky, and it takes forever to beat him. But he looked cool, and that's all that mattered. The game looks, yeah, it has that look, and yeah, trash. I give a trash out of a trash, and that's one trash up.
So, out of a 10, what would you give it?
Oh, I don't give scores anymore. No, I honestly, I stopped doing that like 2 years ago. The only reason why I give scores is because, sites normally force you to score the game if you want to review it.
Okay, on a scale of trash to disappointing, what did you think of it?
Mediocre, decent. It's mediocrely decent.
Okay.
If you're a Sonic fan, you're gonna rage a lot. You're gonna rage a lot while playing the
But
game.
Landon, it says on GameSpot that you gave this game a 7.5.
So, it also says I gave Sonic 06 a 10.
But you deliberately joked about giving it a 10, so...
Maybe I
But
Yeah,
anyway.
that's because you wanted to give it an 11.
Maybe I deliberately
Overall-
joked about giving this game a 7.5. Overall,
Closing statements. I'm going to start. Not worth $15. It might be worth trying out if you're a die-hard Sonic fan, but if you're not like a big Sonic fan, I advise you to turn this one down. There's much better 2D platformers out there. There's much better Sonic 2D platformers out there. And
Sonic Triple Trouble.
And in general, there's much better games that you can get for $15 off of your system's eShop than
Like Journey.
than getting Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Get Journey.
So overall, if you're a die-hard Sonic fan, maybe try it. Everyone else, I don't recommend it.
Actually, the only reason why I got Sonic 4 Episode 2 is because I had already spent my money on, Afterburner Climax, and the only reason why I got Sonic 4 is because I saw it on a PSN discount.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's all for Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Trash.
A disappointing sequel to Sonic 4 Episode 1, which was already disappointing as a sequel to the great...
Which might be why there's no Episode 3.
I hope there's an episode 3, just so I can have Knuckles.
Episode 3 is supposed to be in the works if Episode 2 sells well. So...
Hey, there's also supposed to be a third storybook game.
Yeah, that was...
I thought they quit doing that.
They quit that when Black Knight sales were piss poor.
Except, I don't think they ever announced, they were fully, they've never said, we're not making another. They just haven't made one. Because they had that entire poll for the third one. They just haven't done anything yet. Maybe that's going to be maybe that's the Sonic Wii U game coming.
Oh, God.
But, anyway, if that's all that needs to be said, that's Sonic 4 Episode 2. Thanks for joining us.
Have a splooge-tad stick day.
If you're not a Sonic fan, please don't play this game.
Please.
Good night. Don't.
Yes.
Don't suffer like Landon did.
Please do. Join me. I have cupcakes.